So let's see who shows up. Let's see who shows up. Hello. All right. Please let me know if you can hear me well. Please let me know if you can hear me. Hey, boss. I hope you are doing well and you are okay. Yes, I'm doing well. Please let me know if you can hear me, guys. Is the sound good? Because that's obviously the most important thing. Because if I'm contemplating shit about rituals here, I want you to know what I'm saying, right? You know, hey Frank, how are you doing? So we can hear you. You're heard well. Okay. Well, good. See, when you contemplate something, or communication in general is not something that you should do just in your own head. Okay. So, minimum, you should have a piece of paper and a pen, and you should write down your thoughts and have kind of like a dialogue with yourself. Because at that point, communication is the flow of energy between 2 points, right? So now you'll see that it flows much better, and that you're actually going to get something valuable out of the communication with yourself in this case, right? But if you just do it in your own head, the energy gets stuck, and it's not that uh, it's not that productive, right? And it's just it doesn't work that well. Now, ideally, of course, you have another person that you talk to, right? Or somebody that where something goes back and forth, and well, it's all about inflow and outflow. It's all this universe is one big energetic machine, one big spiritual energetic slash uh, whatever machine, and it's all about energy dynamics. How does the energy flow? And uh, so inflow and outflow is very important. Okay, so now what I'm doing is outflow. I had some inflow today, um, and well, obviously this topic um, has given me a lot of information inflow over many many years. Now it's time to outflow that. So contemplations or contemplating rituals for me really means um, understanding the connection between the inside and the outside, right? Like the reason why we do rituals is to change something. It could be changing your own state of mind. It could be changing your mood, but it's all aimed at changing something in the outside world, right? In some way or another. Because why do you want to feel better now? Okay, okay. But see, even when you're feeling bad, you will you're feeling bad because you're interpreting the outside world in a negative way. Let's be honest. Okay. So if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling bad on the inside, you will interpret everything that happens outside of you negatively. Okay. So even then, the internal changes that you do will cause a change in the external world, even if it's just uh, a different interpretation of things. Okay. Now I wouldn't call that magic, obviously, because that's more like what do you say? That's more like maybe neuro-linguistics programming or positive thinking, all that stuff. That's not magic, by the way. All of these things are great. They're good. Positive self-talk, self-hypnosis, neuro-linguistics programming, positive thinking. All of these things are very, very good, but they're not magic. The definition of magic that I like includes spirits, always. You know. In order to really do magic, you must apply or employ some spirits in some way or another, one or multiple spirits in the ritual. Right? But rituals, generally speaking, are really just a way of changing um, your perception of reality to the point where things actually change around you. You know, Dr. Zero. Hello again. Okay, interesting. How you doing, Dr. Zero? my supervillain friend. Good. So when you contemplate rituals, in my opinion, this is all, of course, my opinion based on my individual experiences and research. The number one thing that you need to change in a ritual is using various means. Of course, you could use, many different things, and we're going to go into that in just a second. But the key point is that you solidify a thought form, and this is the number one. This is the most crucial part of a ritual that works, and at the same time, it is the one thing that is almost never done by people. You know, there are. I'm telling you, there are hundreds of thousands. I mean, there are estimates from the 1970s. I don't know the numbers from today. I'm assuming it's a much higher number, not just through population growth, but also through accessibility of the information, right? But in the 1970s, worldwide, we had about 500,000 self-proclaimed black magicians. Okay, so occultists that also practiced their craft. 500,000. That's not a lot of people, right? I'm assuming it's much more today, but I can. I'm I'm pretty sure the number of people that actually get rituals to work hasn't increased at all, and it's because of that. Because it's listen. First of all, if you see people doing rituals and it's just really just this nonchalant moving around of things. I burned some incense and now I'm throwing some rose petals around, and this shit is useless. It's complete nonsense. It's just like trying to evoke a demon standing in a circle and just yelling the incantations without taking the planetary hour into consideration, and using the right incense, facing the right direction. All of this shit is important. So all of this stuff is amateur shit. Okay, everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. They do that in yoga studios. These pujas where they fucking throw, yeah, rose petals and give each other fruits, and burn incense. Yeah, those are rituals, but that's not magic. Obviously, this is a channel where we're talking about magic. So when I'm talking about rituals, this is always implied that we're aiming of actually changing the world and not just fucking around. Okay, so one of the key components that is most important and simultaneously most forgotten is that you need to solidify a fucking thought form that is so strong that it literally changes your internal experience of the thing. And then you will see that as you have changed the internal experience of the thing, the external experience will follow. Okay, so roughly speaking, we could say that there's let's call it astral form of magic, and then there's this goetic form of magic, or goetic is really just, in a strict sense, is really just working with demons, or let's extend that definition to working with spirits and employing them for changes in reality. Okay. The other form, this astral magic stuff, is something that you would learn in most hermetic orders. Okay. Uh, Hermeticism is a you know is a certain tradition of occult knowledge in which there's a certain cosmology that is utilized to symbolize the changes that you want to cause. It's in the beginning very confusing and complicated because the student has to take years out of their lives usually to understand the connection between the symbol and the internal force. You have to understand that your soul is a reflection of the universe. Yes, that includes all realms, you know, all realms. So we all have, you know, evil parts, we have good parts within us, we have, beautiful parts, we have ugly parts, all of these things, right? It's like, I know this is like really general, right? But the point is your soul is a reflection of the universe and vice versa. So as you're being initiated into something like hermeticism, you will in the beginning, learn intellectually the connection between a symbol and a specific force, an internal force. Okay? And this symbol, as you have understood it intellectually, will now begin to sink into your subconscious mind. And now, just looking at the symbol will start resonating with some subconscious content. And when I say subconscious, it's automatically connected to your energy. Okay, so the study through an order like that will take you many years, and it will take you from an intellectual level into an unconscious level, and gradually you will conquer and develop your own magical universe internally. Okay, all right. So this takes time. Yes, it takes time, but see, I promise you that there are uh, some witch doctors, you know, that are not sophisticated at all in how they talk and how they speak. I visited some of them, okay? Somewhere in some fucking jungle. I've been with them. I've been initiated in systems like that, in systems like that. These people have never heard of the Tree of Life, nor do they fucking care. Nor would they be able to in a sophisticated manner explain um, whatever angelic hierarchies and this and that and the other. See this intellectual need for the distinction between different things and the separation of the world into distinct categories and all that stuff is something that is uh, distinctly Western, you see, and it's by no means universal, nor is it necessary. And the funny thing is that most of those witch doctors wipe the floor with any of those Western initiates. You know, they will make things happen that you will never see in any hermetic order. You will truly see how malleable reality is. Okay, good. So the point is, the point is that I'm trying to make is you should take your time to study a system or these systems, and you should be able to go this intellectual route where you study this first and then upload it into your subconscious, and then can use those symbols in ritual to activate different parts of your soul, of your own energy, and rearrange reality in that way. That will take some time, but it's powerful. You should do it. And what you're going to do at that point is, as you're creating this ritual, a symbolic representation of what it is that you want to happen externally, as you do that, you create an astral thought form. Okay. Now, still, even if people have studied many, many years, many decades, they will still not get it, most of them. That what they're doing is, as they're creating this thought form, they're sending out a shockwave energetically, and this shockwave energetically is supposed to bring them attract what they have symbolized through this ritual. Okay. And this can only happen if the thought form is strong enough. Okay, this is kind of like on the astral, they're creating like a blueprint of what it is that they want. They put a lot of energy into it. This is why you activate those symbols within yourself, within your own energy. And then boom, boom, boom. Hopefully it comes back to you. Okay. Now, who's a Sandgram Jit? You are Kanye West crossed with French Montana. Really? You're a virgin crossed with a pit bull. A son of a bitch, that's what you are. Okay. Uh, the flower opens shyly. Okay, nice. All right. Anyways, so this is one thing. Working with spirits is a little bit different. But the point that I'm trying to make is when I'm talking about rituals, I'm talking about exactly that. I'm talking about your ability to create strong thought forms. But see, when you analyze the stuff thoroughly, you will understand that it doesn't even take studying of a system. All that you need to do is you need to learn to control your mind. And your mind is what can be used for a big or huge amount of all magic, right? Now, there's another form of magic that I mentioned earlier, which is goetic magic, which employs spirits. That's a different story. But for now, let's just talk about the magic of the mind, so to speak. How to use your own magic, or how to use your own mind for magic. So, um, so you need to create a thought form that is very, very strong. When you create a strong thought form, what begins to happen is that your mental body begins to take on the shape of that thought form. Okay. What do you think is going on when you're angry? Think about the last time you were angry and what you were experiencing there at that moment. Okay. What was going through your system at that point? It was most likely a certain situation that you were repeating in your mind. It was stuck there. It was almost stuck there. Now, energetically, what was going on? Let's say if you could look at yourself energetically at that moment, what you would see is the shape of your aura would change, and your mental body would take on a different shape, probably the shape of the situation that you're thinking of, and your astral body would be really, really dark red because you're angry. Okay. Now, what happens is if you don't shake that anger and hold on to it, this state that you're now in of anger will condense down into an etheric state. So your etheric body is going to also take on a shape that is congruent with those other bodies, with the mental and the astral. And now, guess what? The etheric body is almost part of the physical. Do you know what's going to happen next? A situation that is also on that frequency will occur in your physical life. So you have now attracted that. You see what I mean? Let me go back and explain that again. Let's say you are angry. Something happens in your mental body. You know, the aura has different layers, right? You have a physical body, you have an etheric body, you have an astral body, you have a mental body, and so on and so forth, right? So let's say you're angry. What's going to happen is your mental body is going to shift and it's going to take on a form that is congruent with that thing that makes you angry. Next, your astral body is going to turn red, and it's also going to take on a form that is congruent with that anger. And as you hold on to it, and as it stays with you, it's going to condense down into a more subtle level. More solid level, to your etheric level. And the etheric is almost part of the physical. So now you're going to attract a situation in the physical world, or create it, or whatever you want to call it. You see? Whatever you are afraid of, if you don't get rid of that fear, or if you don't if you keep allowing this fear to occupy your mind, you will attract in the world, and it's actually going to happen to you. Think of a parking ticket. If you are worried about getting a parking ticket and you keep thinking about that, guess what's going to happen? Yes, you're going to get a parking ticket. If you are worried that people don't like you, and you're worried about people not liking you and all that stuff, guess what's going to happen? People are not going to like you. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think that if you have worries about money, and you keep worrying about that, guess what you're going to attract? Situations in which money is scarce, and you're going to keep the money away from you. You know. Can you reverse it and worry that everyone will like you? No, what I'm trying to say is essentially you need to take control over your mind. That's the number one thing. And as you take control over your mind, the different layers will start adapting. And this is how you control reality. And this is how you control your life. Okay. So let's go into some questions here. I study hermetics to understand the elements and how our body is a reflection of the universe. Yeah, great study. Takes a while. I like it when science and magic comes together in one. Yeah, me too. Okay, somebody said I look like Kanye West in French Montana. Mhm. Okay, the flower opens shyly. I think of this. I think the subconscious mind is the most important part of. So gonna your subconscious mind is going to shape the reality you believe in. Yes. Okay. So, Lord Wamu, can you reverse it and worry that everyone will like you? No, it's not worrying. It's believing. It's knowing that everybody likes you. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And this is also something that you think of it. Think of this. What would be the thought form that reflects what you want? So it's not that you worry about it. It's like you already know. It's already happened. How can you break negative thought forms that have total influence on you? Change the frequency of your mind. Change the frequency of your mind. See, any thought form is a represents a certain frequency. So if you change the frequency of your mind, usually that will help with shaking off a specific thought form. So let me give you an example. If you're, let's say, angry, anger has all emotions have a certain frequency, right? Anger is pretty low. So at that point, what you would have to do is do things fast. Okay, so go for a run or just do things really really fast. Just run around, run around, run around. I promise you, your mood's going to change because your frequency is getting higher. As you increase your speed, your frequency goes up, and it's really that simple. Really, I'm not even kidding. You can shake negative thoughts by just moving your ass. People live a sedentary lifestyle and they wonder why they're depressed. Isn't that funny? Just move your ass. How? And listen, knowing this, what we're talking about here, that you have to like different thoughts have different frequencies, and you can, as you increase your frequency, your thoughts are going to change. What do you think is going to happen if you live a sedentary lifestyle? First of all, you probably, if you live a sedentary lifestyle, you probably also eat foods that are low frequency, right? Or whatever you put in your body is like low frequencies, like fast food and all that stuff, right? But what do you think is going to happen to your mind if you don't move? Like you're sedentary, you're literally in one place, you're not moving. How is your frequency going to rise? It's not going to happen. You're just going to coagulate like a river that doesn't flow. You need to get your energies flowing, guys. You need to get your energies flowing. You get it? Every day. Yes, you need to exercise every fucking day. Which doesn't mean you kill yourself. This is what most people like think. Like, they have to like. Well, I work out at least 2 hours a day, but you don't have to do that. You could just, and when I say working out, that usually includes, you know, some lifting weights, some strength training, some cardio, and also some sauna or swimming or something like that. Okay, so for me it's 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 hours per day. But for you, it doesn't have to be that. You could even just 30 minutes per day, man. But you need to move your ass, bro. It's important overall because your mind cannot access the frequencies that you need if you don't do that. See? How can you be productive? How can you create this? Especially those of you who want to create a business or something like that. You need to access a certain frequency bandwidth of thoughts in order to be productive, you see, or in order to create. You cannot do that if your frequency is low. And if you're sedentary, your frequency is by definition low, so your mind's not operating right. So you need to move your ass, man, and change your diet. Hold on. So this is how you change thought patterns. You just move faster, do something that raises your frequency. You will be faced with everything you fear throughout your life, for sure. Thanks, Frank. Yeah. I think fear could be the strongest form of faith you can have. Well, I don't know, man. It's up for debate. Random questions. Have you had any results with the Pika tricks? It's quite a wild compendium if you never heard it. Pika tricks. Never heard of it. God is knowing, not God is having faith. Oh, that's deep, Tracy. That's deep. Okay, that's deep. Yeah. Yeah. God's knowing, not knowing. It's having faith. Okay. Yeah, definitely true. Man, I know so many not so many, but I know religious people that are constantly worried. I'm like, do you have faith or not? What about your faith in God? Did you go to church today? Besides that, if you have a God that randomly punishes you that you can't trust, why the fuck do you worship that guy? Serious question, no? Like, doesn't that make sense? Like, if you have like a service, if you like have a service provider, let's say your internet, you have an internet service provider, and the deal is you pay us a certain amount of money and we provide internet. But you have to worry every fucking day if they follow up with what they're supposed to do. Is that a good deal? You're going to change the provider, right? So my question to you is, if you're religious and you believe in God, but you're afraid, if you're worried about what's going to happen to you, man, you need to change your provider. You need to change your fucking religion. I'm telling you. You need to come to the dark side, my friend. Stupid. Listen, let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a secret. Organized religion, whether Islam, man, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna make myself a real target here, bro. Let's see if some fanatics listen to this, right? Any organized religion, any monotheistic organized religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they're all Saturn worship. Saturn is a dark god, okay? Dark god of destruction. So guess what happens if people pray to Saturn? More destruction. You see, that's one of the biggest secrets people can't talk about, right? But it's true. Yep. So yeah, of course, go to Catholic Church. You know what you're gonna get? Lots of Saturnian energy. That's gonna be anything but love and light. uh, would you say the patriarchy is dying out and we're going more into a matriarchy era of energy? Ooh. Bro, what I can tell you is that Trump is most likely not going to win. That I can tell you. So does that signal the end of the patriarchy? Probably. Yeah, the patriarchy is not compatible with this time that we're moving into. It's actually a good question, Ivan. It's actually a good question. Which I would answer yes, the patriarchy is over, actually. But it's not going to be matriarchy. It's going to be a variety of different things. What we're going to see in the future, and you can already see it, man. You can already see it. It's like there is no normal, so to speak. Okay, like when I grow, I'm an '80s baby. I was born in 1984. I'm 40 years old. I'm actually an old man now. So at 40 years old, in the world that I was raised in when I was a kid, what was normal was, you know, a man and a woman and children in the family. It was normal that the man was married to the woman, or a man was married to a woman, and they would actually try to stay together and make it work and try to raise a family for decades to come, right? So that was normal. Being straight was normal. When I grew up, nobody wanted to be, at least, of course, a lot of people were gay, but it was kind of like something to be ashamed of, and no guy wanted to be gay. Actually, it was kind of like an insult if you called somebody gay. Man, he's gay, whatever. That's like, I'm an old man. What can I say? It's what it. At one point, that was the case with minorities. There was a time when you could throw out insults about minorities, and it was like considered normal, right? So what I'm trying to say is essentially times change. Times change, and what we're going to see in the future is that, or it's actually already, like, you can see it. You can see it happening. The world's never going to go back to fucking 1950, where gay people have to hide, black people can be killed without repercussions by the police and all that stuff, uh, and women are going to go back into the kitchen. That's never going to come back, my friend. The future looks like this. The future looks like what was normal when I grew up. This lifestyle is going to be one among many. It's definitely not going to be the majority. I know that a lot of people dream about going back to that time, but no. And you will see that Trump will not win, unfortunately. From Listen, I could be wrong, but I think I think he will not win. You know, and of course, that is also in alignment with the times that we're moving into. It's going to be a multipolar world, and it is what it is, man. The good old days are gone, and what we're gonna see is just a much more Aquarian world, so to speak. Aquarian, much more whatever, and kind of, is it egalitarian? Probably. If you have a world in which the mind matters more than anything else, it's probably also more egalitarian. You know, and don't worry, there are still going to be straight people, and uh, we're still going to be able to have that kind of lifestyle. But other lifestyles are accessible too, and I think that's a good thing. Like if somebody's gay, I don't think they should hide. Like that's kind of fucked up. Let's say somebody's really gay. Why should they have to hide it? Why should they be made to feel bad? I don't think that's cool, you know. So live and let live, I guess. I don't know. Uh, a lot of traditional Republicans don't like Trump. Yeah, and men don't pay bills like they used to. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like you can't expect a woman to be traditional, right? If you can't fulfill your traditional role, and inflation has pretty much killed that. Inflation has made it really, really impossible for most men to be the sole breadwinner, right? Okay. Yeah, we are cooked over here in the States for elections, getting my passport ready to leave here soon. Mm. Yes, but I don't think you can avoid these movements globally. It's not like I'm not saying that you think that, but a lot of people think if they just move away from, let's say, America, for example, that everything is fine. That's not true. You could go, listen, I recently had a conversation with a guy from Egypt, and he told me it's the same thing. It's completely the same. Maybe not exactly the same, but um, girls are really like this um, emancipation. Let's call it emancipation. What do you want to call it? Like the gender roles have shifted globally, man. This is not coming back, you know. And I think that's maybe a good thing. It could be a good thing because listen, okay. First of all, if the only thing that keeps a couple together is money, that's kind of like a fucked up situation, isn't it? Like think about it. Like people always argue about, you know, uh, that if the only reason why a woman is with you is because you pay the bills and she can't make a living without you, and she's literally on the street because if she leaves you, I don't know if that's like a good energy that you want to bring into the house, right? You see, I don't think that's a good thing. Secondly, um, maybe that makes it. Maybe we can have better relationships. You know, maybe I'm naive here, but uh, no money, love goes out the window. Nah, my friend, no money, and she leaves. Love was never there. Love was never there. Listen, it doesn't make a difference. You can have women with it, even if you have no money. Absolutely. I know broke people that are broke guys that have. Listen, when I was broke, I always had girls, always had girls, always. It's not about money. You can have women without money. If a woman really loves you, what she's gonna do is she's gonna take the money from another man and give it to you. I'm not talking about pimping here, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, if a woman really wants you and loves you, listen. Of course, she can finesse and uh, manipulate another man to give her money. But if she truly loves you, or if she likes you, or whatever, she's gonna she's gonna give you the money. She's gonna take care of you with that money. If she really believes you, if she sees potential in you, she's gonna do that. Now, of course, you need some qualities. You need some qualities that are important, you know. But you got to satisfy her in some way, of course. And all those, listen, this is a warning. Now, of course, it's important that you. I believe that as a man, you should be like financially at least stable. I think that's important, absolutely. But if you actually if you if you in my opinion, if you really think that money is all that you need, if you want to lead with money, you're going to fail with it, man. It's not going to work. Odd Frank, no. I'm assuming you disagree. Well, okay. In some countries, from the people I've met overseas, people still somewhat communicate better than here in the States, even while the gender roles change. The US can. Yeah, I haven't been in the States for a while, so I don't know. US cannot stand more longer. And men get off on that. Men get off on what? Giving away their money? Well, if it's been a while since I've been to the States, man. It's been like, how long? 4 years? Yeah, 4 years. And I was in California and I hated it. I was in Los Angeles. I fucking hated it, to be honest. I really did not like it. Um, I don't like it when a man makes being rich his entire personality. Yeah. But bro, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say here. I also don't want to don't want to offend anyone. I said I didn't like it that time. There were times when I visited uh, California or Los Angeles in particular when I liked it, but the last time I visited, I did not like it. Okay, I don't want to sound offensive or whatever. Okay, please, all Americans here, don't get offended that I didn't like Los Angeles, but it was not a good place. Number one, because listen, if you're, it doesn't even, okay, talking the ism today, church. Oh, okay. No, when a man knows your sugar daddy paid for his gift. I see. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, but being a sugar daddy once in a while is also good. I like that too. Like I like taking care of a girl that I like. You know, like there's nothing wrong with buying her things and stuff. I think the get I actually like that. I like taking care of women. Turns me on a little bit, but doesn't mean that that's the only thing that I provide, of course. But once in a while, I think I'm a little traditional when it comes to that. I'm old school. I'm generally speaking. Listen, I'm an old man. I'm an old man. Don't hold that against me. I'm an old man. I'm 40 fucking years old. And in my day, back in my day, uh, you were you were the man, and it was just normal that you pay as the man. You take care of her, you wine and dine her. It's just what you do. You don't look old, man. I'm 40 years old, man. I have my makeup on. My makeup makes me look younger. No, obviously I don't have makeup, but we'll see. Today, I had some. I was boxing, and I got a cut. Let's see how long it takes to heal. You know, let's say if I need the same amount of time to heal or more than than in the past. We'll see. It's been a while since I had a cut. Okay, I heard putting your dog or cat between your cheeks is a female thing. I like buying gifts from men with their own money. It's a thought that counts. Yeah. Oh man, that's good. I love a sugar gifted. What the fuck? I love a sugar daddy that's giving the sugar. No, her boyfriend likes it. Oh my God, 40 is young. Oh, old school. I love old school. Hell yeah. Um, I thought she was like 32. Yeah. Uh, Thank you. Guess I take that as a compliment. 32. Yeah, but I got that same yesterday. Some woman thought I was 32 as well. No, she thought I was 30. She thought I was 30. But that's, if you eat healthy and work out, I think you can delay that. 40 is the new 30. Hey, guys, listen, I don't give a shit. Thanks, guys. You're building me up and all that stuff, but I don't really care. To be honest with you, I prefer being a little bit older. I prefer being a little bit older, to be honest. You know, Frank, I can't imagine you giving the sugar up. Who said I'm giving up the sugar? I'm not a trick. What the fuck you talking about? I'm not a trick. But I like taking care of if I'm with a woman, I like taking care of her. Of course, that's what you do. That's how I've been raised. That's how I was raised. I think this 50-50 bullshit is I think a man that does 50-50 has no class, to be honest. Like, you want to take out a woman and then pay 50-50? Like, what the fuck? That's weird. What's next? Are you going to sit on her lap? Are you going to take it up the ass from her? What does that mean? No. I'm old school. Told you, I'm old school. I'm a man. And that means I pay in certain situations, of course. Um, Listen, uh, what's this? Back in your day was only yesterday. All right. So Frank, tell us why you didn't like Los Angeles. Why didn't like Los Angeles? Now, first of all, uh, I they had too much metal in their fucking food. I was in three separate uh, Mexican restaurants, and they always had metal in their fucking food, like literal metal. I'm talking about fucking staplers in their fucking Doritos. I had staplers in there, literal metal. Um, that's true. Um, I think LA is way too flat of a city. It looks like it's just so spread out, and you can't walk anywhere. It's. I'm from Europe, man. Like people walk a lot here. Public transport is like normal, and it's like okay, this is not an argument. I get it. Oh, I'm from somewhere else, and I don't like it because it's not where I'm from. That's what I'm saying. But I didn't like. It was just the. It was not good. It was really not good. And okay, the next thing is a little bit that's on me. Okay, because I was in Hollywood, um, and well, they're telling me it's a Crip neighborhood, or it's like the Crips over there, right? So, but I didn't think about that because, like I said, I'm from Europe, so like I don't think about colors and all that stuff. And I guess as a black guy, you have to worry about that shit over there. So I was wearing all blue accidentally. I was wearing dark blue shoes. I was wearing blue jeans, blue shirt, and a blue hat backwards, kind of looking like a gangster, right? Whatever. And I was sitting at this place with my girlfriend at the time, and you know, in this maybe you know that place, Veggie Burger. It's a Veggie Burger. It's on Hollywood. It's on Vine, I think. Yeah, it's on Vine. Um, there were some other black guys in all red and eyeballing me the whole fucking time. I couldn't even eat my food in peace. But they're like, because nobody wanted something to happen, but it was kind of like an awkward situation because they didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't know what they were going to do. So I was sitting there looking at it. It was just a lot of things like that. It's like bullshit, and a lot of rude fucking people, man. A lot. I met a lot of staff, a lot of, especially in restaurants, that were really rude. You know. So I don't know. I didn't like it. It was not a pleasant experience. So uh, what's this? Guys that do 50-50 a lot with women, I heard, like P. Diddy's baby. No. Ah, okay. Man, how did we end up here? I thought we wanted to talk about fucking rituals. Well, yeah, but a lot of people don't like. Yeah, LA is. Oh yeah, and I didn't like the. It's just too many homeless people, man. It's really too many, too many, too many homeless people. I know that's not the. Maybe that's not the fault of the people living there. That's what I know, but it's just too many. Could I create a thought form that can help me astral project? I was thinking of horse symbolizing transportation. If you can create a thought form that can help you with that, just you could do the astral projection all by itself. You know. So what I'm saying is, if you can project your mind somewhere, even just when I say projecting your mind somewhere, what the fuck does that mean? Let's say you're here in your room or whatever, wherever the fuck you are, and then you kind of like close your eyes and you feel into another room or another place. You feel into that. into that place. Don't worry about seeing anything, because the sight and the vision and the experience happens all by itself. Okay, so relax yourself and feel into that place. And if you feel into it long enough, you're going to start experiencing that place. And now you've astral projected. The only thing is that most people then, they self-censor. So they kind of like, they block the experience. But all you got to do is you got to project your consciousness, your attention somewhere, and your mind is going to be there. And this is astral projection. Paul Newman insisted his female co-stars be paid the same as him. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to go to heaven for that. Good man. Well, I think they should be paid the same if they bring in the same revenue. Obviously, they shouldn't be paid the same out of principle. That doesn't make sense. That's anti-capitalist. Meritocracy. We want meritocracy. What exactly does the symbol of the Baphomet represent? Baphomet represents essentially, well, it's the carnal nature of this world. That would be my interpretation. Carnal nature of this world, which includes the sexual polarity. It includes it's the survival instinct, the raw survival instinct that you could tap into as a psychological subconscious force in order for you to create magical effects. It's just basically access to a specific energy current, just like most others. And we can open your subconscious up to that force and then let it work through you essentially. And with that, I mean, obviously you're not going to use that energy for all types of rituals, but there are certain rituals in which this force is definitely utilized. You know, I think you can imagine what type of rituals those are. Okay. Did I miss a comment here? No sugar, no love. Okay. Paul Newman insisted his female co-stars be paid the same. What exactly does symbol of death represent? Yeah, man, but let's talk about the sugar baby thing. Which in a way it makes sense. I get it, because I try to understand the mating game as good as I can. Mating game, what does that mean? I think every species has like a mating dance, right? Like birds and fucking lions and fucking squirrels. They all have, and bees. All animal species, they have a certain ritual through which opposite sex comes together and creates offspring. That's the mating dance, right? In our species, usually, not always, but usually, uh, men have to convince women to mate with them. Now I know that there are sometimes women that want to convince a man to have sex with them, but that's only because the man before that has portrayed certain traits that she finds desirable. So he has already done the mating dance, consciously or subconsciously. And women in their lifetime produce like 400 eggs. Men produce tens of millions of sperm every single hour. Okay? Let that sink in. Women have 400 eggs in their whole lifetime. Men have millions of sperm every hour. Okay? So, the fuck does that mean? It means that, and when sperm and egg come together, this is when offspring is created, right? And biological sex and attraction is based on that. I'm not saying other things don't exist, but this is like the real primal stuff, right? So men are much cheaper or much less valuable, just like basic economics of sex. Men are much less valuable than women So men have to put in a lot more effort, generally speaking. And this is also why women are much more selective because they have to make the best choice, right? So they can lay back or sit back and wait for the right guy to show up and give it to him, right? Give it up to him. And so what I'm trying to say is essentially, uh, it's really interesting to know what this mating dance consists of. What is the mating game about? Like, what do women really find attractive? I find that super interesting. Always found it super interesting. How do you hack that? It's really not easy. It's really not easy. But there are definitely certain things. Now, if you want to hear my opinion on that, please let me know. I can share my opinion here. But I don't want to keep talking about that if you don't want to hear that. A true sugar daddy just gets it. A true sugar. Oh yeah, that's why I would said that. So it makes sense because in nature, in order for a female to have sex with a male, there's often bribery going on, you know. So primates they will exchange let's say fruits. So food for sex basically, I guess, you know. And it's got a similar you know, across the board. Yes, I want to hear the opinion. I don't know. There are some species of birds that perform dance numbers to impress the female. It was super cute. If you're an attractive guy, you don't have to put in much work to get women, thankfully. Just gotta have personality keeper also. Yeah, but what does it mean to be attractive, to be an attractive guy? What does that even mean, you know? Being an attractive guy. What does that mean? What does that even mean? You know? And well, that's not an easy question to answer. But the point is, um, ideally, of course, there is. Uh, yes, I have watched ducks. The male duck projects the. Nobody wants a broke dude. What is a good ritual to stop getting bad luck? You know what? I'm going to do another live some other day in which I'm going to just share different rituals with you. Okay? I'm going to share different rituals for different purposes with you because right now that's not a great setup. So, Danny Dinero, I'm going to answer your question another time in detail. The diversity in birds and other species are so wide ranged. Yes, that's true. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's also, listen, somebody said something about if you're an attractive guy, you don't have to put in much work to get women, thankfully. You just gotta have personality keeper also. Yeah. Well, well, yeah, but I mean, there's also a danger that you could overdo it where they see you as a player, you know? Like, um, you could be seen as a player, which, you know, is not necessarily something bad. Depends, you know, really depends on this and that and the other. But if you're perceived as a player, that's also not good. So being too attractive brings its problems too, you know. And if she thinks you're a player, that makes things a lot harder. You know, I don't want to. not to toot my own horn, but yeah, I've heard that from a lot of women where basically, yeah, you're cute or whatever, but I think you're a player. Which on one hand is like a which I am, by the way. I'm a player. Yeah. But like it's kind of fucked up because on the one hand it's a compliment, on the other hand, what she's telling me is, no, I'm not going to give it up because I know that you're not serious about it. Which is like, who's saying that? Who says that? I still believe in love. I do, but um, I mean, yeah, I guess I guess that's what happens when some of your best friends are professional pickup artists. I guess, and you've been studying this for a long time. Behavior, not looks. What do you mean by that? Behavior, not looks. It's the behavior that makes you a player, or the looks that make you a player. For the for the past decade, all of my expenses have been paid by one, by sugar daddy. Congrats. Beauty is subjective. Probably, I don't know. As in the male pheasant with his colorful plumage. This is precisely your point of view. Yes. I'd rather be a player than get nothing. Money and lust overcome so-called love any day for me. Some men aren't players, they just crush a lot. I'm not a player, I'm just crush a lot. Yeah, is that big pun? It's true. Yeah. I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player, but I crush a lot. And da, da, da. Okay, so do we have some more questions, guys? We already did an hour. Hopefully, you got something out of this. I'm going to answer some more questions, maybe two, three more questions, and I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe I missed a comment. Uh, Nobody wants a broke dude. Okay. True sugar daddy, just get it. You like soccer? No, actually, I don't like any sport except martial arts. Really, I watched the World Cup, but that's about it. Sports, like all this other stuff, bores me. Are love spells best one of the ways you can attract someone you like? Well, yeah, I guess. Man, I don't know. Like this is a deep topic, Akira, you know? First thing is, it's the number one thing you can do is to get more physically attractive. That's the most important thing, obviously. And then uh that's not all, obviously, but you can increase your attractiveness through many different avenues, you know. So looks, and then also other things, and then you can do some rituals. Yeah, why not? I know that's not a great answer, but next time, not right now. Um, I'm not optimal right now. Huh. Okay. Um, like soccer. Okay, one more question, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. One more. Get your wallets up. Okay. I don't know if that's a good message, Licious. I don't know if that's a good message. You know, turning. Like trying to turn everybody into a trick is not a good message, I think. What the hell is a love spell? A love spell? A good love spell is what? I'll tell you what, a good love spell is the following thing. A woman that is, or yeah, let's. I'm gonna take the example of a woman. A woman that is absolutely not interested in you, uh, is turns into a person that is obsessed with you, and then she tells you that at first she was not attractive, but then she started having dreams about carrying your baby, and she started to get obsessed with you and couldn't stop thinking about you, and she couldn't eat until you were together, and she was actually experiencing physical pain until you kissed her. So she needed you like she needed air. And this is a very good love spell. So the person is essentially not able to think about anything else. They're not able to sleep, not able to eat, and they experience literal pain, and they feel like they need you, like they need air. And this is what we call a good love spell. Does that make sense, Sean? I ain't tricking. Every man should have a bank account full of money. But what happened to women having bank accounts? Listen, your four sisters fought really, really hard for your right to have your bank account and to make a lot of money. So why don't you do it yourself? Attraction is dictated by behavior, not a man's looks. Ooh, female attraction is dictated by behavior. Ooh, okay. CJ, I disagree. Now, listen, a man's looks, I'm including the body too. I'm including the body. Okay. Now, I have a question for you girls, for all the women here on the screen. I'll give you two guys. Which one do you pick? One guy is short, out of shape, bald, fat, but he's super confident. The other guy, he's tall, he's muscular, and good looking, but he's a little bit silent. Which one do you take? The short guy is number one. The other guy is number two. Which one do you pick, girls? The one with credit. God, all these materialistic women. Jesus. Okay, what's you tell me? One or two? One or two? I got money, but I ain't messing with no broke dudes. Okay, the one with the money, sir. Oh God. Shit. Okay, you tell me one or two. Which one do you pick? One or two? What's our choices again? You got choice number one. He's short, out of shape, fat, but really confident. And you got the other guy. He's tall, handsome, but a little bit shy. And he's got a great body. He looks amazing. Like he just looks amazing. But he's a little shy and doesn't talk too much. Which one? Two. All right, two. I'm picking two. One of them said, hold on, what's this? Uh, taking the tall one. She's not playing hard to get. You're just hard for her to want. Looks, height, money, and status is law for all men. Okay, thanks. Yeah, more context. That's all you get. That's the context. Um, money for me. This is bullshit. The, it's how a man operates, not how he looks. Okay, that's okay. CJ, are you a guy or a woman? I would bet that you're probably a guy. Right? Okay. Would it be fair to say a Kabbalist will always be an adept within the realms of Hermeticism, but an adept within the realms of Hermeticism is not always be a Kabbalist? I think neither one of those statements are true. You need a little bit of both. You can definitely be a great Kabbalist without understanding anything about Hermeticism and vice versa. You know, so they're not overly like connected. That makes sense. There are similarities, and of course things are overlap, but they're not one and the same. Okay, guys. I used to be a one. Now at age 52, I can work with a shy number two. Having good health is huge. Okay, I see. Short, fat, and hairy legs with lots of money. He would be. He would be too wise. Oh shit! What kind of a materialistic crowd are you guys? This is disgusting. Disgusting. All of you are like just money, 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 money. Listen, that's a materialistic. I gotta cuss you out, guys. This is horrible. Listen, money is the root of all evil. Okay, just you should look at the heart of a person. You know, not the wallet. It's incredible. You want me to be XYZ, then pay for it too. A man with money don't mind paying for what he want, and I don't want. I don't mind being what he want. The bottom man's dating life is in the abyss of an alternate ninth dimension of hell full of coke and soy. I like that. I like that. Come on, man. It's not that bad. I think you're all just cynical, guys. What happened to you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you guys? This is horrible. What happened to good old? Who hurt you guys? We are in a material world. Jesus. This is so sad. Attraction is tonight's debate, just an observation. I agree with you, Sean. There's no debate on that. Yeah, this is really sad, guys. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep for all the lost souls that were on the stream. And Frank, you are also beautiful, so you have an advantage. Well, first of all, beauty is subjective. Number two, is really not important. It's only skin deep. Number three, it fades with age. You know? Like the only thing that I listen, I'm fine with wrinkles. I don't give a fuck. The only thing I'm scared of is my dick stops working. Well, that's gonna be hard. If when my dick stops working, I'm gonna have to really like I'm gonna have to find some real strong motivation in my life to keep going. A lot of high earning men are over leveraged and don't know how to manage money. That's true. That's actually very true. Yeah. Don't be too impressed by the fucking cars and shiny objects, right? Because listen, oh, he drives a Porsche. Listen, driving a Porsche, what is that? 1,000, 2,000 a month? You know, I drive a Porsche. Between us, I have a Porsche 911. That's nothing. Don't be too impressed by that. You know, um, been an education, been an education big man. You have a good Saturday, Sean from Scotland. We had a Mr. McKenna from Scotland here. This is almost like Highlander. Incredible. Well, have a good night, mate. In your bed before going to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep, guys. This was really, really sad. It's 3 a.m. over here. This is uh, a good time to stop the stream. Please find Jesus. You guys need Jesus. I know it. Like from what you were saying here, what you were typing into this chat. You guys really need help. Okay. So find the next church that is close to you and trying to find Jesus, please. Okay. You're all just burnt children. It's horrible. Okay. So in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I'm ending I'm ending this stream.